You know, you don't have to say a single word to make someone uncomfortable. Just your presence, your silence, your being. It's enough. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because who you are quietly challenges who they pretend to be. I'm not talking about being rude, intense, or confrontational. I mean simply existing from a place of awareness in a world ruled by ego. And here's what nobody tells you. When you are spiritually awake, you trigger the unawakened, not with noise, but with your stillness. Have you noticed it? You walk into a room and something shifts. You say nothing, but people react. They grow defensive. They try to prove themselves. They talk louder, explain more, joke nervously. And you're just being. You've probably blamed yourself for this. Felt like you're too much, too intense, too quiet, too strange. But what if I told you, this is not your flaw, it's your frequency. You don't have to be confrontational to be confronting. When your energy is rooted in presence, you mirror what others are not ready to face. And ego does not like being seen. Let me share with you 6 deep reasons why spiritually awake people often trigger others without even trying. The first reason is this. Your presence reveals their absence. You are here, fully, now, breathing, not caught in roles or posturing or performance. And because of that, you reflect how disconnected others have become from themselves. Most people are running from silence, from feelings, from truth. And when you aren't running, they feel it. Your calmness is threatening to someone who lives in chaos. Your inner stillness reminds them of what they've buried. And that reflection is uncomfortable. It's like holding up a mirror to someone who hasn't looked into one in years. They won't say it, but your presence says, wake up, come home, remember. And for many, that's too raw. The second reason, you live from authenticity, not approval. Most people shape-shift to fit expectations. They say what's safe. They do what's expected. They play their part, but you stopped doing that. You've chosen to be real, to speak truth even when your voice shakes, to stay silent when words are unnecessary, to walk away when something doesn't honor your soul. And here is the thing. When you no longer need approval, you become very difficult to manipulate. And egos hate what they can't control. You being you, fully and freely, becomes a silent rebellion. It's not that you're trying to challenge others, it's that your truth naturally reveals where they're lying to themselves. And that makes you magnetic and uncomfortable to those still performing. The third reason, you don't engage in the same drama. When others gossip, you go quiet. When someone complains, you listen but don't add fuel. When conflict arises, you remain grounded. You no longer feed chaos just to fit in. And this makes people uneasy. Because your refusal to participate exposes how much of their identity is built on reaction. You've learned to pause, to breathe, to observe before responding. You choose response over reactivity. And in a world addicted to emotional noise, your inner peace is confronting. People may say you're cold, distant, arrogant, but deep down they feel it. Your centeredness, your depth, your refusal to be pulled into unconscious patterns. And it stirs something in them they don't yet understand. The fourth reason, you live with boundaries now. This one is subtle but powerful. Before awakening, maybe you said yes to everything. You were agreeable, accommodating, always available. But not anymore. Now you say no. You rest. You leave. You protect your energy. And not everyone likes that. People who benefited from your lack of boundaries will be the first to label your growth as selfish. But it's not selfish to choose yourself. It's sacred, and it's rare. You've stopped leaking your energy to keep the peace. You've stopped explaining your no. And that quiet self-respect sends a message. It says, I know who I am, and I no longer abandon myself for belonging. This rattles people whose identity depends on being needed or liked, because your boundaries force them to confront their own. You see through illusion. This is perhaps the most triggering of all. You can no longer pretend. You feel the energy behind words. You sense the gap between someone's mask and their soul. You see the roles being played, the games, the ego strategies. And you don't attack it. You just don't participate. And that silence, that stillness, that refusal to play the game is powerful. Your energy says, I see you. And I'm not impressed by the mask. I'm waiting for the real you. But here's the thing. Many people are not ready to be seen. They crave attention, not awareness. They want to be liked, not known. So your perception becomes threatening. Your presence becomes pressure, not because you're judging, but because you're awake. And now let me add one more, the sixth and final reason. You remind people of the part of themselves they've silenced. This one goes deeper than just discomfort. You represent something they buried. Their intuition, their inner child, their creative spirit, their sensitivity. When someone has spent years numbing, denying, suppressing, and they stand next to someone fully feeling, fully present, it wakes something ancient inside. Not all people are ready for that resurrection. You don't just trigger the ego, you awaken the soul underneath it. And that's why some people resist you, project on you, or even resent you. Because your light stirs their forgotten truth. And truth is disruptive. But here is the gift hidden in all of this. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be light. Not the blinding kind that forces people to look, but the quiet flame that reminds them they can see in the dark. You are not here to fix people. You are here to embody what wholeness looks like. To walk with peace in a world addicted to noise. To love with depth in a culture obsessed with surface. And yes, it's lonely sometimes. Yes, people will misread your silence. Yes, your frequency will make others uncomfortable. But it's not your job to shrink. It's your path to shine. So the next time you walk into a room and feel that subtle tension, remember, it's not you. It's what you reflect. It's what you don't feed. It's what you no longer tolerate. You disturb the illusion. You radiate clarity. And clarity is uncomfortable to those still hiding in confusion. You don't need to explain your energy. Just honor it, protect it, live it, because you're not too intense. You're just finally present. You're not a problem, you're a mirror. And not everyone is ready to look. But one day, they might. And when they do, they'll remember the quiet one in the corner. The one who said nothing, but spoke volumes just by being. And so, the journey continues.